Water really is life. Everything that we do has to do with water.
For me, the magic in water is that it truly connects us all.
I probably never really thought about it until I began to do the ceremonies of my tribe. If you want to understand water, go without it. If you want to understand the rain, stand in it. Water's sacred.
There are many very serious water issues globally as well as locally today, and I think probably the most critical water issue is the disparity in the geographic distribution of water. And that leads to places that are severely drought-stricken, while at the same time, floods are happening in other parts of the world, and that is a completely different challenge, but no less severe. Another critical water issue is water scarcity because of water pollution. Sanitation and hygiene is a really critical water crisis as well. If we take a developing country in Africa, for instance, there are places where they have drilled wells. You can put the well in, but to sustain it, you need both technical support and education as well as community education so that the whole community is involved in the management of that water to ensure that it's there. So there is a critical role that education plays. And education is the thing that leads to sustainability and to long-term management of that water.
The mission of Project WET is to reach children, parents, teachers, and communities of the world with water education. Project WET's mission is really supported by 4 core beliefs, and these core beliefs have held the program together since the very beginning in 1984. The core beliefs start with water holds all Earth systems together. It's critical. The blue planet, the place that we live, is held together by water. The second core belief, which has been fundamental to the success of Project WET, is we believe in water for all water users: fish and wildlife, recreation, navigation, municipal and industrial, rural water users, energy, and all of these users put together make up the communities that we live in. We believe that water management is essential for the future success, both social and economic, of all people in a healthy environment. And finally, we believe that we're one important part of a lifelong process of learning about water resources, and we provide a stepping stone for people to get interested and learn about water resources.
In a developed country such as the U.S., Project WET has exhibited huge successes in managing the global water crisis here with respect to raising a generation of students, millions of students who have been through Project WET that now have a much deeper understanding of the importance of water and how it's managed and the interrelationships of groundwater and surface water. And these are the people who will be our elected leaders one day, and they will be coming to those positions with a background and understanding of water. Project WET at the outset is training.
Project WET stands for Water Education for Teachers. At Project WET, we take a very broad view of teacher. We believe that a teacher is anyone that wants to educate people about water resources. So users of Project WET can be anyone from a typical classroom teacher. It could be a non-formal teacher teaching children in after-school programs like Boys and Girls Clubs. It can be businesses who are interested in educating their employees about water resources.
Project WET is also materials, and the materials are the critical key that allow those complex topics to be made meaningful at the student level.
Project WET is unique because all of its materials are developed with input from scientists, from water resource experts, and from educators.
Project WET is also a network of educators. There's a Project WET coordinator like myself. I'm the coordinator for Montana, and there's one in every state.
The Project WET network is the most important key to the success of Project WET in its work. Project WET has been fortunate over the years. We've worked with amazing partners, and this is both on the private sector and on the government side and with NGOs. We have a network in Latin America and the Caribbean where we partner with UNESCO International Hydrologic Program and our global program, which includes 29 countries.
Project WET is also events such as the World Water Day. On March 22nd every year, this global event brings greater awareness to the importance of water all over the world. As a result of Project WET's participation and leadership in water education events at the 2006 Fourth World Water Forum, water education has been pushed to the very top of the priority list for the Fifth World Water Forum in Istanbul, Turkey. Water festivals, for example, are wonderful events, such as it's like an outdoor classroom.
In the fall, we do the Make a Splash, and the Make a Splash Festival is 250 kids from surrounding schools that come in for a day of hands-on activities related to water. And so they go through stations with trained instructors and get to do activities on the water cycle, activities on macroinvertebrates and how that relates to water quality. They do activities on water chemistry, mostly focused on hands-on investigation, really getting to know how water is connected to their lives and how important water is for the whole world, really.
Project WET has wonderful activities that anybody can teach in any place in the world. And I have found in my travels over the last few years that Native communities have not had any problem converting those activities into their perspective or their local issues.
My vision for Project WET in the next 15 to 20 years is that every child in the world has access to Project WET and our materials, and that they are aware, educated, and they understand water issues. Now, to do this, we recognize that we can't be alone. We want to work with teachers in schools, parents, community members, sponsors, NGOs, government agencies, and a huge group of people that are trying to make a difference in reaching children and helping them have a better place in this world.